Hello everyone, my name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you my review of Punisher: One Last Kill. First of all, let me know what you thought of the new logo, the new intro. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But now getting into the Punisher: One Last Kill. This is the latest Marvel special presentation. Back after Werewolf by Night, they said they weren't going to do any more special presentations. And I'm glad it seems that they've kind of changed their tune on that. This is honestly really a passion project for Jon Bernthal. The special presentation is written by Jon Bernthal and the director, Reinaldo Marcus Green. I just think special presentations like this are such a great way to tell a more small scale story in the MCU, and I'm so glad that they're back. I'm so glad that they got this opportunity. And so, of course, I was really excited for this. But before we go any farther, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. I really appreciate all of you who watch my reviews, and it just means a lot to me. Now, I will say, I think this is a very smart idea to have this special presentation come right off the heels of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. It aired literally a week after the finale, and it makes sense because these two characters are tied pretty closely together. So I will say, no spoilers in this. I want you to be able to experience this for yourself. But one thing that I did kind of have to think on and I guess reconcile with myself and with the presentation is that, to me, where Frank begins this special presentation isn't where I thought he would be based off the ending of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. I just feel like where he is here at the beginning just doesn't really match up. So you can kind of do like what I did. You try to, I guess, kind of fill some gaps and kind of create your own headcanon a little bit as to why he's here in this mental state right now. We get just a tiny bit of what he has been doing since the end of that show, but still, I don't really think that it matches. It's just not really a clean transition for his character, in my opinion. Also, I can't help but feel that we've kind of gone over this same character arc with Frank before. It's kind of that thing of every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in kind of thing. So it is a little disappointing that we are kind of still seeing a shortened version of an arc that we've kind of already seen from this character. And I guess while I'm in this realm, let me stick with another negative that I do have. And I understand that this is like a 45-minute special presentation, but the story is really thin. It's like paper thin, honestly. And I might even go a step further and say it's like tissue paper thin. But it being a special presentation isn't necessarily an excuse for the story to be as thin as it is, because we have Werewolf by Night, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, and those both have a more complete story, more at least depth to the story. Even though I do have some issues with the storytelling here, I will say I do appreciate that at least at the bare minimum, Frank begins and ends this special in a different place. He actually has some character development over the course of the special. And so because of that, this special actually does leave him in a place where it makes sense for him to pop up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So even though we have seen this kind of character arc from Frank before, it is still executed well here in this presentation. It's just, we've seen it before, but it's still done really well. Jon Bernthal really does understand this character, in my opinion. You can see that through his writing, you can see that through his performance, and you can see that in the position that he puts Frank in. Jon Bernthal goes all in on his performance, and he brings some big time emotion that really works. He really commands the screen, and honestly, there's not many people better at portraying anger and despair than Jon Bernthal is. And this special really does put that on display. There's not really any other characters we focus on other than Frank. We get introduced to a new character, a new antagonist, but it really is just an introduction. We really focus on Frank, and Jon Bernthal does a great job of carrying this project. I just love seeing him as this character, and I am so excited to see him as this character again in Brand New Day in just a couple months. I do almost feel like this special presentation is kind of like a proof of concept for more Punisher stories in the MCU, and I'm here for it. I will take a Punisher movie. I will take another Punisher show. I really want to see Jon Bernthal continue to play this character. I want to see him play this character more. And I think there are some stories that I would love to see explored with this character. Now, the biggest thing that this special does right, and you could guess it, that's the action. Oh my word, the action is actually spectacular. It is pure, unfiltered Frank Castle, and I am absolutely here for it. We get a ton of action in this special. Honestly, the narrative is kind of an excuse to have a ton of action, and it is 100% relentless. It honestly kind of has like a video gamey feel in the best way possible. It kind of reminds me a bit of some of the Daredevil action sequences with a little bit of like John Wick mixed in, maybe with a little bit of the Raid mixed in. Frank's not just shooting his way through his attackers. He is cycling through weapons. He's improvising, taking down waves upon waves of guys. And there's this awesome extended sequence where he's moving through an apartment building and it just keeps escalating. The action here is violent. It absolutely fits the character. It absolutely fits the narrative. And like I said, there is narrative purpose to all the action. There's some really great longer Steadicam shots during the action sequences. It's visceral, and to me, it looks like Jon Bernthal got in there and did a lot of the stuff himself. It's gritty and satisfying, and honestly, the action is worth watching the special just by itself. So now I will address the clip that you have probably seen on social media. It's been going around talking about how terrible it looks, how it looks like awful CGI. And while I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it looks great or it looks fine in the special, I will say it does look a lot better in the context of the scene. There was somebody who worked on this special who said that it was done mostly in camera. And so I do trust them. I don't think they'd be lying about that. I think the thing that went wrong with that was kind of maybe a mix of them using slow motion, the lighting, and maybe the way the actor ended up moving kind of all comes into a combination that doesn't make it look great. I think in terms of some of the other technical stuff, really the only issue I have is I think there's a few lines of dialogue here and there that I feel like kind of gets lost in the sound mix. And it's in moments where I don't think it was meant to be lost. This definitely isn't a perfect special presentation. I don't know if I necessarily even say that it's better than Werewolf by Night or the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, but I am so glad that we got it, and I hope Marvel continues with these special presentations. I think this is a really good and solid proof of concept for more Punisher stories in the MCU. The story is paper thin, and we've kind of been over this character arc with Jon Bernthal's Punisher before, but Jon does give an incredible performance, and all of the action is absolutely top-notch. It's violent, it's gritty, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. I don't really know how to score this. I don't even remember if I gave a score to the other special presentations, but I'd probably be sitting at about 3.5 out of 5. It's good, even though it does have some issues. So I think if you like some of the darker superhero stuff, you like some of the Daredevil stuff, especially if you like the Netflix Punisher show, I think this is an absolute must watch. But that's it. That's my review of Punisher One Last Kill. Have you seen this? Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. I would absolutely love to have a conversation with you about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. You can follow me on social media pretty much anywhere at CinemaSeth, and I'll see you next time.